call this meeting to order. I'd ask people to silence or turn off their cell phones. We'll begin tonight's meeting with a public hearing. The first is on Ordinance 8, 2018, providing for amendment to Chapter 14, Article 4, zoning districts by adding warehouse storage as a conditional use in the rural and conservation zoning districts. If anybody would like to speak on Ordinance 8, 2018, you're welcome to right now. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item on public hearing is Ordinance number 9, 2018, providing for an amendment to Chapter 14, Article 6, 1462 in the Winslow Town Code, titled Signs, by adding the underlined language and deleting the strike-through language in the attached section. Anybody would like to speak on Ordinance number 9, 2018, you're welcome to at this time. If not, we'll close the public hearing portion of the meeting and begin with the regular council meeting, and we'll start with the roll call.
Jeff West.
Here.
Ray Karen.
Here.
Ken Fletcher.
Here.
Jerry Quirian.
Here.
Patricia West. Here. Ben Twitchell.
Here.
Steve Russell.
Yes. We'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 3, which is approval of the minutes from the previous meetings. There are two of them. One on December 10th in 2018, and the second one on January 2nd, 2019.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any additions or corrections to the minutes? You'll note that there was one change made on the one in January 2nd. It was corrected. Seeing no other objections, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign, passes unanimously. Okay, next we have a appointment to the Assessment Board of Review. And Joan, oh, I should have practiced this, Cazelli? Cazelli, I apologize.
That's all right.
No other candidates, I assume, applied. Would you like to say anything? No. You don't have to? Okay. Well, we really appreciate that you would volunteer for this committee. It's going to be a big help. I'll entertain a motion to nominate.
So moved.
Move.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But you can stay around.
You can't leave the meeting early.
She'll quit.
If we make her sit through these.
You're so funny tonight.
Communications, visual barrier complaint in the 2019 municipal calendar. Did you?
Yeah, so the visual barrier complaint, I just wanted to just share that with you folks. When the complainant had written his letter to me, he wanted CC to the council. So I felt it prudent to give you all the correspondence.
Good, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
I do have one question. Was the town ever paid for the court decision? It was a combination of fine plus court fee, our legal fees?
If we cleaned his property,
Okay, so that's where that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And on the calendar, thank you very much for putting that together. And we are going to try to get the school workshop.
yes, I'm gonna
Okay.
talk to the superintendent and come up with some dates and more.
Good.
Any more questions?
Sorry.
If not, we'll move on to reports of committees and commissions. So we'll begin with the town manager's report.
As you can see from my report, I'm hoping to have a couple of estimates for conversion to LED streetlights when we get into the workshops and start redoing our budgets. I'm also getting estimates from CMP if we were to continue that relationship with them owning and maintaining the lights for comparison. And then the only other thing I'll mention, unless there's other questions, is the ordinance amendment. So in your packet was, I think it's the third version of our ordinance amendment project. And so I'll give you a month to look through those. And so I'll be seeking some feedback in February to see if there are any additional proposed changes or if you have any additional questions. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions?
Chairman?
Yes.
You've done, I think Public Works has done an inventory of poles that are no longer necessary by the utilities.
Yes, they did in town. And so, and what Jerry's referring to, are we, as you know, we have numerous locations throughout town where there are actually double poles. One pole needs to be removed, obviously. And so, looking at CMP inventory, what they sent me, plus what Public Works did for inventory, there's approximately 163 double poles around town, in town and out of town. But I did see that MMA Policy Committee is going to be proposing legislation that would require the utilities to respond within 6 months to address things such as the double pole.
Now, the ones, I believe the Public Works inventory were on the southerly side of Sebestico. So they haven't done the northerly side, if I'm right.
As far as I know, we've done both. We've done everything.
Okay, yeah, I think, so what I've got is a printout from CMP indicating where double poles exist. And then what Public Works did when they went out, they created a list above that has more than what CMP sent me. So I'm assuming, Paul, your folks must have seen the double pole, realized it wasn't on the CMP printout, and then they recorded it or logged it.
Yeah, we counted every double pole. We didn't really look at which
Okay.
something we had in CMP. We just went around, counted all the double poles, and the
Okay.
streets and the phone numbers, and that's what we got. You know, as far as I know, they got both sides of the river.
Okay.
So where do we go from here?
Well, we'll have to reach out to Fairpoint because they're the ones that have the utilities still on the other pole. CMP has said they're, you know, just give them a call once the pole is emptied and they'll come and pull it.
Yes.
Fairpoint is no longer here, it's consolidated.
Consolidated.
And the one in front of my house, everything's been changed over except for the telephone stuff. That's the bottom. So when CMP usually puts a pole in, they are it out and change their stuff off. And then it's the cable stuff and telephone stuff.
Yep.
And most of the ones I've seen around in my area is the telephone stuff needs to be done.
Yeah, the cable company's good. When we call them, they're generally out within a week to take care of whatever it is.
Of course they are. They're efficient like that.
Except when you get stuck in a
But
bucket.
it, yeah, it's consolidated.
Well, that happens too.
That's the problem. But we can try calling them and see if we can't get some sort of response from them.
All right, because you don't want to have this drag out for 5 or 6 years.
Any more questions?
One of my houses, in front of my house, has been there for 3 years already.
Yeah.
Well, I got
Yeah,
2
well,
years to
you
go
should take it out.
by your estimates.
5 years is a long time, Jerry.
Any more questions for the town manager in his report? And we also have the department reports. Does anybody have any questions for any department heads? And the finance committee report and the financial report, everybody has signed those. If everybody's satisfied, I entertain a motion to accept our reports as presented.
moved.
Is there a second?
Yes.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll move on to old business. Ordinance number 8, 2018, providing for an amendment to Chapter 14, Article 4 zoning districts by adding warehousing storage as a conditional use in the rural and conservation zoning districts. What is your pleasure?
So move.
Second.
Open for discussion. Is everybody all set? Is that a roll call vote?
It is Jeff West.
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes.
Ken Fletcher.
Yes.
Jerry Kurian.
Yes,
Patricia West.
Yes.
Ben Twitchell.
Yes.
Steve Russell.
Yes. Move on to ordinance number 9, 2018. Providing for an amendment to Chapter 14, Article 6, subsection 14-62 of the Winslow Town Code titled Signs by adding the underlined language and deleting the strike-through language in the attached section. What is your pleasure?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote.
Jeff West.
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes.
Ken Fletcher.
Yes.
Jerry Kurian.
yes,
Patricia West.
Yes.
Ben Twitchell.
Yes.
Steve Russell.
Yes. We will now move on to new business. Why are these out of order? We'll begin with order number 1, 2019. An order providing for the authorization of town manager to purchase a 2018 Wacker Newson wheel loader with bucket, snow blower, and angle broom for the public works at a cost not to exceed $82,000. Be it ordered by the Town Council of the Town of Winslow as follows. Whereas the Public Works Department needs to replace their existing sidewalk tractor, and whereas the estimated cost to replace that tractor is $82,000, and whereas there are sufficient funds in the PW equipment capital account and the sanitation equipment capital account, now therefore, be it ordered that the town manager hereby authorized to purchase a 2018 Wacker Newson wheel loader with bucket, snow blower, and angle broom for the public works at a cost not to exceed $82,000.
so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, how old is the one we have?
The present machine is a 2000,
Okay.
so it's possible we got it in 1999. A lot of times when you get them, they're the upcoming model year, so I have to go back and look, but it's almost 20 years old. We haven't,
Yep.
we haven't lost any money with it. It's just,
Yep.
this one's tired.
I appreciate the pictures, but I do think if we could get another couple rolls of the duct tape. we could,
Save it, right?
We actually had to put a sheet metal on the top. That's why the top is all exposed,
Yeah.
because it was leaking on top of the guide every time they went out, which was kind of nasty too. So
Yeah, it looks like it needs to be replaced.
I suggested that didn't go well.
Go ahead, man.
How did you pick this one versus other ones that you?
Basically, a lot of the communities are going to this because of the cost. To replace what we have right now with the newer model, it's about $140,000 to $150,000. These are down in the 80s. Will it last 20 years? I don't know, but it's half the price. And there's probably 20 of them around the state right now. I know Orno's got 2 of them. They love them, and it's got the same hookup as a skid steer. So Steve, if you're familiar with skid steers at all, any attachment that'll fit on the skid steer loader can go on this. So it's a little more utility for the summertime. We might be able to use it, put a cold planer for pavement or some other. That's why we're getting a broom. Our broom is wore out on the one we have. We've wore everything out pretty much at what we have now, so.
So you're getting the snow blower and the broom?
Yes,
Okay. For summer spring
Yes.
cleanup, is
Yes.
that what that was gonna be used for?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yes, one question, the only question is how often do you wash this
oh,
piece
they
of?
wash it every time. What happens, this old machine has an air conditioning unit that's mounted on the top. So it's kind of hard to clean under there. I mean, it's just 20 years worth of rust and grime, but it's just, they wash it every time they come in. They wash the blower, wash the machine out so they can get to it and grease it. It's not neglected, it's just old. We use it in the springtime for sweeping sidewalks. Sometimes we use it in the summertime if we're ditching or somewhere's out in the country that, we'll sweep the shoulder of the road or.
Go ahead, Ray.
Is this coming from the capital
Yes.
fund that we have money for?
Yes.
That we have budgeted,
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, is it needed, the air conditioning needed? I know it is because you got a snow blower.
In the summertime, you need the air conditioning because you get in those cabs. It's like a sunroom. It's part of the setup. I mean,
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Okay.
it's part of the standard machine now.
You spent 15 minutes without the AC on.
And where is the dealer that you?
The dealer here is out of Old Town,
Old Town?
Stillwater, actually.
And I assume, sounds like it might be foreign made. I assume parts and service, you've looked into
As
all
far as I
that?
know, there's no problem with parts. Skowhegan's got one. I believe Fairfield just bought the one that you see pictured there. They jumped me to it because he got money before I did, but,
Okay.
so they're
Great.
popular. I mean, it's because of the cost. It's
warranty on it?
2 or 3 years, I believe, on the warranty. And I know Scout Eaton's had a few problems with theirs, and they've been good to come good for it too, so.
Good.
How many different attachments?
Well, right now, we're gonna get the snow blower and the broom. You can put a cold planer on it, you can put, anything that'll fit on the skid steer. If you wanna post.
It's probably a quick
bigger-
attach, isn't it?
It's quick attach, it's
Yeah.
a hydraulic quick attach. The only thing you gotta hook up is your hydraulics. So it's a lot more versatile. You can put a set of forks on it if you don't wanna use it in the summer to transport, pipe and materials on the job site. It comes with 2 sets of tires. In the wintertime, they put a narrow set of tires so you can fit on the sidewalks. In summertime, it's got a wider set of tires for stability. That's all
Do
part of the
we
package.
have extra equipment that will fit on this one, that already?
No, what we have fits only on the machine that you see in the picture.
Okay.
And I assume you're gonna sell the old one? or you
I'm gonna
trade it?
try. I've been told there's a dealer in Augusta that might give us something for it. The dealer won't give us anything. They
Right.
don't want it, but
Yeah.
whatever we can get. I've been told he tends to buy these and
Yeah,
has a market for them, so.
yeah, but you don't expect much for it, 20 years old, all wore out.
Has duct tape on it.
I'd probably be happy if we get $1,000
Take the
out
duct
of
tape
it.
off,
Take the duct tape off and paint it.
like it's.
Yeah. No, actually, I think we should probably paint the duct tape.
Yeah, just
that's a good idea.
take it off, it might fall apart.
That's a good idea.
Any further questions? Are we all set? Is that a roll call?
It's a roll
Okay,
call.
we'll have a vote.
Jeff West?
Yes.
Ray Karen?
Yes.
Ken Fletcher?
Yes.
Jerry Kurian?
Yes.
Patricia West?
Yes.
Ben Twitchell?
Yes.
Steve Russell?
Yes. I'm not seeing number 2, do you have that?
Oh, what's the lead time on it?
Probably a couple weeks.
Talk about waiving this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's where I was going.
Yes, we'd like to waive the second reading.
Yeah,
So I make a motion that we waive the second reading.
second.
Moved in second, any discussion? All, roll call.
Jeff West?
Yes.
Ray Karen?
Yes.
Ken Fletcher?
Yes.
Jerry Kurian?
Yes.
Patricia West?
Yes.
Ben Twitchell?
Yes.
Steve Russell?
No. Did you have number 2? For some reason, I'm not finding it. Number 3. Oh, I got it right here. It's on top. Okay. We'll move on to the second item under new business, which is Resolution 3, 2019. A resolution providing for the acceptance of forfeiture assets attained by the Kennebec County District Attorney's Office. Be resolved by Town Council, Town of Winslow as follows. Whereas the state of Maine, through Superior Court Civil Action Docket Number KENDCDCR 17-2366 has acquired funds that were forfeited by the court, and whereas under 15 MRSA 5824-3, approval must be received from the municipal legislative body before any funds can be transferred back. And whereas the town is expected to receive the sum of $1,187. Now therefore, be resolved by Town Council, Town of Winslow hereby approves the transfer of the defendant in rem of any portion thereof pursuant to 15 MRSA 580-24-3 and 580-26-6 to the treasurer of the Town of Winslow for the purpose of use within the Winslow Police Department. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, that's a resolution. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. We move on now to Resolution 4, 2019, a resolution providing for authorization of the town manager to accept a donation from the Sukeforth Family Foundation to benefit the Winslow Fire Department. Be resolved by Town of Winslow, Town Council of Town of Winslow as follows. Whereas the Sukeforth Family Foundation has made a donation to the fire department in the amount of $1,000, and whereas the fire chief would like to have the donation applied to the fire department's equipment and maintenance line item. Now therefore be resolved by Town Council of Town of Winslow, the town manager is hereby authorized to accept the donation from the Sukeforth Family Foundation in the amount of $1,000, and be it further resolved the donation be applied to the fire department's equipment and maintenance line item.
So,
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Yes.
How much is it and what's it gonna be used for, or
It's 1,000.
1,000?
We get that every year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's the, yep. Any other discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Moving on to Resolution 5, 2019. A resolution providing for authorization of the town manager to accept $27,339.61 donation from Firehouse Subs to purchase a rescue boat, motor, trailer, and accessories for the Winslow Fire Department. Be it resolved by Town Council Town of Winslow as follows, whereas the fire department is in need of a rescue boat, and whereas Firehouse Subs is willing to donate $27,339.61 for the purchase of a rescue boat. Now therefore, be resolved by Town Council Town of Winslow, the town manager is hereby authorized to accept a $27,339.61 donation from Firehouse Subs to purchase a rescue boat, motor trailer, and accessories for the Winslow Fire Department. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, is that all? Those boats, is that in Firehouse Subs?
What do you mean?
Figured there'd be lunches in the boat.
Any further discussion?
No, but you should go there and buy a sandwich, because
Since say you donated that much,
You're donating.
if there's no plus.
I guess there's one, if the chief could, now, this is something, chief, that you picked out, that they had the money for, or it's your boat that's functional in the river and the lakes and everything like that for the motor and the depth of the river and all that type of,
Absolutely.
okay. And I know you've done your work.
Did I pick it out personally? No. I relied on my subject matter experts.
Okay,
And this is a jet motor, so it will function in, they say 6, I wouldn't want to take it in any less than 10 inches of water.
yeah,
If you look at the stability of the platform of the boat and the lowering of the boom, should there be any kind of patient that needs to be stabilized, that this platform is a great platform to work from. It is, it would work in conjunction with Waterville's. They donated jet skis to Waterville, so the objective was to complement each other. No need to duplicate efforts, but to complement each other should the need arise for any type of rescue, water rescue, whether it's in the river or any of the lakes around.
Are our Sea-Doos going down the road?
They will be, yes.
Thank you.
And the inflatable boat, discussions being held right now as to whether we want to fix it, patch it, and sell it, or just sell it as is.
And when do you expect delivery?
4 to 6 weeks. In fact, I've got the memorandum of understanding from Firehouse Subs to execute as soon as we get approval, and we'll be here 4 to 6 weeks.
the reason why I asked too is, I noticed in the picture, it looked like an outboard motor.
It does look like, but it is not
It
an
is
output.
not,
It is not it is a jet motor.
Okay.
It doesn't have a prop.
No problem. Correct.
Either do the other boat half the time.
Any further questions for the chief?
But I tell you what, Firehouse Subs, that's huge.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's,
it's huge. We're going to put on quite the show when it gets here.
Good.
So,
And thank your crew for putting out a boat and doing the diligence to make sure we did the right.
They are
Have
hardworking.
the confidence
They are hardworking.
sit here
and-
that they have picked out the right boat.
That's exactly right.
and done the
Sir?
research. No, we have the confidence they picked out the right boat and they have, you know what I mean, done the diligence to make sure we get the right thing for
Right.
the applications.
Right.
Just thank them for us.
Oh, I will. Absolutely.
any further discussion on Resolution 5, 2019? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. We will move on to Resolution 6, 2019. A resolution regarding poverty hardship abatement, request number 001-2019. Be it resolved by Town Council, Town of Winslow as follows. We hereby move that poverty hardship abatement request number 001-2019 be granted or denied in the amount of, what was that amount? Do we need that?
That was in the
Don't have that, Mike.
19,000.
19,000 and something, wasn't it?
100.
1,900, I'm sorry.
1,900, yeah.
I'll just put 1,900 plus or
Take care
minus.
of 10 years.
Was approved?
Not yet, we
Oh,
haven't,
okay.
no one's made a motion, put it on the floor, that's what we need now.
I make a motion that we request for more information on certain items.
So we either have to grant it or deny it, so maybe deny it
Deny
with request
With a request.
for more information and for another application.
And I'll second that.
And moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimous. Discussion items. First one, 4th of July parade. Did you have something to say on that?
Yeah.
Was that you that brought that up? Yeah.
I'm not volunteering to do it. I have someone that wants to volunteer. She wants to start discussions in getting that going. Just the parade, not the whole circus by the river with everything. She just wants to see the parade, something small.
I've heard a
Tracy
lot-
Eau Claire.
I've heard a lot of people say they miss the
Yeah.
parade the most.
Yeah, it's Tracy Eau Claire. She was supposed to be here tonight, but she's not, so.
So I don't know what that would entail, if we need a resolution in the future.
Or a committee or.
A committee of some sort, that maybe a council member would sit on, something like that, I don't know. I don't know what the first step would be.
Well, good, Mr. Chairman. Historically, it hasn't been a town-led
function.
event, right? But of course, the town's involved.
Right.
So would it be appropriate that if we ask our Parks and Recreation Director to participate in the committee work? Because if I understand it correct, actually, if we have a parade, would they have to get a permit?
Yes. And I
We actually don't have a
So, yeah.
process for that. We have
Parade permit,
Correct, we have nothing in our ordinance.
okay.
About a
But
parade.
historically, obviously, we've approved the
Right.
4th of July parade.
So if that would be the pleasure of the council, we could participate without having it be a town-led event, so to
Right,
speak.
yeah, yeah.
A town.
You know,
town
certainly there would be some
government
people, fire chief.
Sure,
Police
sure.
chief, public safety, what's the safety committee that we have? I don't know if there's any considerations about those things that,
Yeah, they've never been involved with safety
with that,
committee.
okay.
We've never just had a parade.
Parade, yeah,
It's always a big shenanigan.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, nice event.
It sounds like everybody's in favor of pursuing that. Is there any objections to having a parade?
I somewhat offered my help to that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could be the council contact, you could be on the committee probably. No, you
Can you
don't
see
know.
me out there with the headset and the clipboard screaming at everybody to get in line?
No, you would just
but-
be,
That would make sense.
you would just be the liaison between the committee and the council.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
I would suggest.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
I'll be on that committee.
I volunteer Ray as well.
Ray did his time with the
Yeah.
parade.
Come out of retirement. Be patriotic.
I think it's time to have another parade.
I think any of the councils would be willing to help if
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's where you're dead
Call
wrong.
you.
Huh?
That's where you're dead
I'm
wrong.
gonna call you.
I did 25 years of that, I'm good. I'll watch it.
I do have like a lot
I
of
know.
experience, so I would be more than happy to be on the committee and to help out whatever I could, that's for sure. I offer my help at any time to be on the committee.
I must say, you always did a fine job.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you very much.
The
Thanks,
chief
Ray.
had, the chief had.
Not to be outdone by the police department, the fire department is always willing to cooperate to help out. So,
You have a new,
About $27,000.
it sounds like we should move ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. The next one is the Vassaboro Sewer Project and Schoolhouse.
All right, I put that one in, so we'll start off, you can scream at me if you want to. What's happening is the schoolhouse 1806 construction. The sewer, if I'm correct, is on, the proposed sewer is supposed to be on the same side that the schoolhouse is, and the pole line. There's a ledge through there. I haven't seen their ledge borings yet, but if they're blasting ledge, you're gonna be close to that schoolhouse. And I don't want to see a pile of rubble.
Shaky brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yep.
So, I know that Paul has requested a set of plans, and I don't believe you have received them yet.
He told me last week he wasn't gonna get them out till this week, so we won't see them till another week.
So, somewhere's in there, we need to probably get together with the Vasboro Sewer District. I don't want, and on top of that, we need to get an application for a location permit and an opening permit inside the compact area, not outside. The state takes care of that.
You do that, right, Paul? Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, another thing, I brought this up back some time ago when they were discussing this whole process. There are people on Cushman Road, Route 32, that live between the top of that hill and down where they're gonna be hooking in, that would love to get into that sewer, because they all have septic. And I've never heard anything mentioned since about being able to get into that section that's in that town.
Is that so?
It's forced coming up
Yeah,
over.
okay.
And it's gravity down below that.
Okay, so once it reaches the top of the hill, it's gonna be gravity.
All gravity.
Go ahead, if you'd like to.
Not really, it's all force main, it's a 4-inch force main, there's no getting into it for customer service. We had looked at running a gravity line up to the top of that hill, and it wasn't worth the money for the few residents that were out there. It was gonna be $250,000 out of our pocket, put it in there, they weren't gonna do it. Guess there's no advantage to that.
Raymond.
I know that, Paul, from talking to you before, I know that you're not in charge of the construction crew, and but yet the safety and the aspects, you're gonna monitor, right, to make sure
I
that,
will monitor what's in Winslow, you
Yeah.
know, because they've already asked for permission to close the road completely. I know I've said no, and I don't know what DOT's doing on the other end. They wanted to shut the road down completely with detour traffic, and we said that wasn't gonna work.
right,
But I'm not worried about the blasting. I mean, the same company do blasting over on Cedar Brook. I mean, these guys are professionals. They come in with seismometers, they do their surveys of the buildings, and they shoot accordingly. You know, they know this house is close by, there's wells, there's everything. They're gonna shoot, likely, and if something happens, they're insured. You know, it's not their first rodeo, as they say. These guys do this every day. The place is a lot tougher than that.
yeah.
How do we rebuild that school? I mean, insurance.
Well, the schoolhouse is one issue, but one of the issues is that if you're ever anywhere near the schoolhouse on that issue, is that the traffic is unbelievable out on 32, and any disruption is gonna cause some problems out on 32, because, man, they're going past there. I mean, I know that it's posted speed limit, but they're really moving, like a highway out there, and I know that this is gonna cause if they close the road, I don't know.
We can't, it's just too much of a disruption. I mean, we've done it when we've had a tree in the road or something, too, but
Yeah,
this is, they'll have to work with the traffic and just make it work.
yeah,
But the contractor is got an awful low bid, so he's trying to cut corners everywhere he can.
Yeah, I know, that's the other thing, yes. Do you know what the dates of construction now?
He wants to start working in February, last I knew, do some horizontal drilling, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if they've officially signed the contract yet. But they've been cutting the items. They only had $5 million, the low bid was 6. So they're trying to cut things out of the contract to get it to work, hoping that they can get money back from the last bond issue that just got passed in November to kind of get some more money to finish off the project. That's all I know. I mean, I just know enough to be dangerous right now, so.
Yeah.
It's not my project, so that's just what I've heard. But I've asked for a set of plans. The plans will show the boring logs of where they've bored that all the way through for, see where the ledge is.
And you'll review the safety aspects of the project and okay them, so when they're shutting.
What's inside the compact zone from the bus garage this way, yes.
Yeah.
The other part is DOT, so that's up to them to monitor their traffic. And we have to be careful that we don't start approving stuff that something happens and falls back on our liability, saying, well, you guys said we could do it like this. It gets to be a gray area, so we have to be careful with. But I'm not giving them permission to shut the road down, it's just too disruptive. You know, great for them, works a lot better without traffic, but they shouldn't be on that road.
A lot of school buses go in and out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there's just too much traffic.
Yes, it is.
The last time we had trees down this fall, it was just a mess. That was only for a couple hours.
Any further discussion? All set?
The other thing I have is, I know DOT basically said they won't allow to close it down for any length of time. So they got.
DOT won't even let you close the road down when it's a DOT project.
Right.
So I doubt very much they'll let you close it down for a project that isn't even theirs. They know the traffic that's on that road. Yeah, you'd have to detour them out to the Asset Road. The Asset Road is not very good. It's a pretty long detour. So.
No.
So when do you think you're gonna have those planned? About a couple of weeks?
Hopefully by the end of this week, if you get them out today, if you got them out today or tomorrow,
Right.
shouldn't take too long. They come out of New Hampshire, I believe. So they get them, I'll let you know.
All right.
Any further discussion? All set?
Yep.
Move on to the next item under discussions is the fire department staffing.
So, Mr. Chairman, I just, as far as the committee that's gonna do some of the work, the committee membership or proposed membership that I have right now would be Jeff West, Jerry Kurian, Tim Beals, Dennis Brockway, Fran Hudson, Chief Rodriguez, and Fire Lieutenant Jeff Rennie.
And, you know, good, Mr. Chairman, that's the committee that's gonna look at transport ambulance, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And so how many members was that? Was that 7? You probably want an odd number of voting
Yes,
members?
that's 7.
And of course, any other council members are welcome to attend meetings and stuff. And I assume you would attend the meetings for
Yes. yes, I would.
purposes of
Yep.
scheduling.
Put my name on that list last month. When I stood up and
You
I
did,
would like to be on that.
you did request, you're right.
He did. That will give you that extra.
Well, we've got 7.
That's 7.
How many counselors?
2. We could add a third council and make it 9.
I'll be the third then. if-
Would you want to do that? It's
Well, so
9 to,
be it.
9's not too many, is it? I wouldn't want to go much bigger than that, though, would you? Does that sound good to you guys then? Okay, congratulations, you're our 9th member of the committee. Thank you.
Now, this is for the ambulance part of it, not the personnel part that we discussed at the last one.
Probably a little bit of both. It probably would get into the nitty-gritty of the whole proposal.
Well,
They're two
because we got the
separate
budget,
things.
we got the
They're
budget
two
thing
separate
coming up.
things. The
Yeah.
staffing thing is separate than the ambulance thing.
Right.
We keep mixing them, but they're two separate things.
Exactly.
But the chief would like to use the money from the ambulance service to provide staff.
But
To cut the
But the
cost.
staff is the staffing is the number one issue, and we're not going to say, oh, we have to get an ambulance to do the staffing and
Right.
vice versa. They're
Right.
separate
You're
things.
right.
You
You're
cannot
right.
say that.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
good,
you're right.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for bringing
Yeah.
that in,
Yeah.
because I went back and read the chief's December 4th letter, and maybe being a little bit dramatic, but we got a serious issue there.
With the staff, yes,
That's
yes.
immediate, that is right now, that I think we need to look at whether we do ambulance or transport or whatever. That's another question.
Right.
But this issue, I think, has come to the point where we have to look at our existing staffing. And,
That'll fall under the budget system.
right, but I think, but we aren't gonna have the first budget meeting till, what, February something?
It'll be in
February
February,
6th.
yeah.
Yeah, I would suggest we might wanna think about spending some time on it, you know, not knowing what the right answer is, but just looking at the data. And we've still got career firefighter out on injury leave, right?
Correct.
Any guess as to when that individual might be coming back?
No, sir.
Okay.
He has surgery 17, and at a minimum, 6 months post-op at a
Okay.
minimum.
That to me says, not that I like to make knee-jerk decisions, but that pretty much says to me that we need to hire a full-time firefighter EMT. The other thing, looking at the money, we're already paying for it. If you look at our year-to-date spending for sick leave, overtime, vacations, and holiday replacement, and I realize some of that's contractual, so it's not absolute, but we've already spent $57,000 in 6 months. So if we just extrapolate that to a year, that's $112,000, $120,000. We could, if we can reduce some of that,
To help offset.
that would offset it, so we could have a full-time individual on the payroll.
Exactly.
And, you know, therefore, I'm not saying that's the best answer, and that's where I think we need to get together with the department folks and say, is that the right solution for the immediate issue that we have to deal with? It's not a long-term solution, but it's one I could call stop the bleeding. You know, it really sounds like that we need to do something now. And the most logical thing that pops to my mind, and you correct me when I'm wrong, but we need to hire somebody and trained and qualified individual that's gonna help that force cover the work that they need to do now.
And when that other person comes back, that makes it one additional person back on the force.
Right, which can, I've gotta believe that there's work there to do and people have absences and stuff like that. But I'm not sure of that, but I would really like to spend some time in detail talking with the folks that do know to see if that is the right direction, and if not, then what is the right direction? Because what we're working on now, people must be getting tired.
Well, I think hiring someone is kind of like a no-brainer at this point.
Yes.
How do we move forward with that?
Well, we're meeting with the fire department heads for the upcoming budget on February 6th.
Right.
So I would suggest that committee meet probably prior to that and have some information for us.
And really, that the thing, we could take too much time, but I'd like to schedule a meeting, haven't got to have a 40-person meeting, but with the chief, some people from the department, Mike, and whoever else, and just make sure that that is the right solution for what we've got to do immediately.
Immediately for this next
And then,
coming budget.
if that is the conclusion, then we could start the process of recruiting so that when we get to the February meeting, we can incorporate that into the budget.
Now, this is full-time, right? This is the full-time we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a call. This is a full-time.
Full-time.
How quickly could you gather the information?
Well, we just held a process when I came on board
Right.
3 months ago.
Right.
And there's a list of one right now.
Would your suggestion, Ken, be that we even hire them before this fiscal year ends to help save on the overtime of the rest of this fiscal year?
Yeah, I would
Because
wait till that.
we've got a long-term vacancy that's gonna be at least another half a year.
I went through the surgery and it took me 8 months. And if they're saying at a minimum 6, I'm not buying 6
Right,
months.
and the worst case type of scenario is somebody else gets sick,
That's correct.
and then you're right down to
Bare bone.
bare bones minus.
Which is what
And you're
we've been
paying
dealing with.
overtime and
Paying overtime,
all
people
kinds of
getting
stuff.
tired.
Yeah.
Fatigue.
Raymond, did you have a thought?
How do you cover for vacations right now? With overtime, or
Yes.
you do?
That is contractual. The contract reads minimum 2.
Yeah.
Staffing is minimum of 2. And based on the number of days that an individual,
Yeah.
All right, the contract reads, it starts off, I should have brought it with me, but it starts off with minimum staffing is 2.
Right.
Then the next paragraph talks about sick leave, and it goes to the like rank individual with the least, that has worked the least overtime to get preference. If that person does not take it, then it goes to the lower rank who can fill in. In a long-term situation, when there is more than 12 consecutive days vacant, it can be opened up to the call force to work it.
But the issue there, if I could, Chief, from reading your letter, that the only 3 of the call force are certified to meet the requirements of all fire suppression and emergency medical services?
That is correct.
So-
It's actually 2
Okay, so,
that are able to do this, and they already work other
that's
jobs.
right, you know, these aren't people who are just waiting around to come in the door.
Correct.
So that's why, anyway, so putting that all together, it sounds like, yes, theoretically, but practically it won't work unless we have a full-time career person.
That's kind of the dilemma we're in,
Right,
you know?
We can fix that.
yeah, you know,
Can we meet on Friday?
Through the chair.
Yes, go ahead.
So, just out of curiosity, if we were to, say, approve a person to be hired,
All right.
and the injured comes back, nobody's injured, nobody's hurt, no time off, what are we gonna do with that person? We're gonna make them like a Fairfield, like Fairfield does, the 3rd guy during the day, Monday through Friday?
We can explore that during our discussions.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out
and I hear what
one person isn't gonna meet the needs that you're looking for.
That is correct, but it's a start in the right, it's a step in the right direction. I don't want to hire them to fire them.
Well, no, obviously.
Obviously. But I think it would be great. And then, because I guess
I'm looking for suggestions. Is that something we might look into doing?
we could do that if other things didn't
If
work
other
out.
things don't fall into place?
If other things don't fall into place, absolutely.
Which is still a benefit to the department, just not where we want to be.
Correct.
The day person.
The day person. Which would also fill in vacation.
Because you would have,
You still have your minimum.
yeah, if when the individual comes back from sick leave, all things being equal and held constant the way we are right now, the most prudent thing would be to convert that individual to a peak hour, a peak week person. If somebody was then called in sick, you still have your minimum of 2 during the day.
Correct. So we'd actually, in the long run, cut down on some overtime.
Correct.
And it wouldn't interfere with the overtime because he would be a full-time employee of the department.
Right.
Raymond.
What we do, up at the mill, what you like to have is you always staff your department. So if you got a senior type of group, and they have, like we have, 6 vacations a year, and we have, 10 people. So you look at that, and you look like you have to staff it just from, and when we have medicals and we have everything and we're not trained up, we have to go to overtime, and it kills our budget because, so you gotta, not trying to solve this problem now, but the committee would look at vacation time, the seniority of the people, the vacation time, going to straight time, you know what I mean, for being able, and then a medical leave, so, you might be able to see that there's probably maybe a person and a half, but one of the things too is overtime is, my crew likes it because, you know what I mean, they're working 2 days extra, but they're making time and a half double time. It kills my budget, but they sure like it because, but it's a budget breaker when you look at it.
Ben.
Yes, through the chair, if you did put out for a full-time firefighter, would you look for one that was well-trained? Maybe even paramedic level? I mean, what would you look for another full-time firefighter?
Ultimately, I'd like to have a firefighter paramedic. That would, everybody, it's no secret where I want to go.
Exactly.
I would love to do that. But in fairness to the skill level of a paramedic, I don't think it would be prudent at this time to hire one. I have one on my call force. Part of this gets into the contract because contractually, we already have stipulations in place whereby the pay is already set, the conditions are already set. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's kind of a no-brainer. We've already held a process whereby we put out the ad, we got interested candidates, we put them through an assessment center, And, you know, there is a list now, there's not many on the list, but I do have a list from which I can choose from. That list was advertised would be in effect for a year. So in essence, I could hire a guy tomorrow.
Mike, how does that work with the contract if we're adding a position?
So the title would be firefighter?
Yep, firefighter EMT.
Okay, so we have
The
that.
current, I would recommend that it would be the current job classification.
Okay. So we have that job classification already in the contract.
That would keep it simple, that would keep it the simplest, is the way I see it.
Kent,
So,
Thank you.
going forward, is it possible for us to get together this week and look at the contract and have a work session? And
I think that would be prudent, the sooner the
And-
better. Yeah.
I guess procedurally, can we give ourselves the authority to direct the hiring without going through an order process
As a council.
as a
Ooh,
council?
that's a lot of power.
No, I know.
Okay, so.
You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna wait another 2 or 3 weeks and
Keep it pure and overtime.
before we give the green light to hire. Because theoretically, we're going above what's in the budget.
Right. Plus, there's a dollar amount that requires an order.
Right.
And with hiring a person, we would be exceeding
Exceeding that.
dollar amount, which would require the order. What we could do, if we want to do that, give prior approval, someone could make a motion here tonight, declare it being an order authorizing the hiring of a firefighter / EMT.
I'll make that
And
motion.
then you could vote on it.
Just one other question though, as far as the contract goes. Is that gonna help solve anything? Because if a captain's out, it goes to captain as a replacement first.
Correct.
Then it goes to the lieutenant as a replacement. Then it'll go to firefighter EMT as a replacement.
Well, I think it would get to what his concern, if they're tired, if they're working
Right,
overtime.
no, I understand that.
To address your question, I think contractually, the way it's written is that after, well, we've already exceeded.
You've already exceeded that,
We've
so-
exceeded it. So in essence,
That person will be a fill-in for that
a lieutenant could fill in. So your lieutenant would fill in for the captain.
Right, then you backfill that with the new hire,
Correct.
because you're out of the 12 shifts.
Correct.
I'll make that motion.
And
You gotta say it.
and I will
That's it.
second that motion.
So the motion has been made and seconded to authorize the town manager
To hire.
to hire
A firefighter.
firefighter EMT.
EMT.
Right.
Not to exceed, is there a number we have to put on it?
No, because it's contractual.
It's contractual,
The salary
okay.
is already set.
So it's been moved and seconded, that is open for discussion now.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I realize this probably isn't
It's not the right way to do it, but
necessarily the wrong way, but it's not the right way either. But I just think that we're at such a point that time is of the essence, and we would be remiss if we didn't move a little fast. And there's a little bit of risk to it, but unless I miss something, I don't see
see
there's
it.
more risk not to do it.
any further discussion? Raymond?
It's just that we've been in this situation since I know in this town. I don't think that if we just wait a few weeks, whether it, would make that much difference. I'm just not comfortable with the speed of it, and,
Well, as soon as
I
we,
might have some other questions that I would ask, and right now I just don't feel comfortable.
the earliest we could pass it would be, if not tonight, would be the 11th of February. I believe that's our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Can I just make a comment, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Being on that side of it, I covered many shifts over the years for sick leave and whatnot. They do get tired. People can say what they want, firefighters sleep every night. Not quite how it works. You never sleep well here. There's always something in the back of your mind. You're always waiting for that alarm to go off. We're gonna get somebody hurt if we don't do something.
Yeah, we're on borrowed time right now.
And we're already expending the money with the overtime.
And we have people in place with the expertise that I trust.
And when I was on, we had 6, 7, 8 guys that could cover shifts. And you're down to 2.
That the other comment I'd make, Mr. Chairman, if we had full staff and we're now making a decision to hire an extra, that would be one decision.
Yes.
Actually, I think what we're doing is recognizing the fact that we've got a long-term medical leave, injury leave, that is creating a very high probability that this is gonna continue for at least another 6 months. So essentially what we're doing is addressing that exception and doing it as quick as we can to try to get ourselves back to even staff, not additional staff,
Right.
even staff.
And if I could add, this, categorize it as a strain. This has been carried by the staff of the fire department since before I came, because of the vacancy created with the person leaving.
Right.
So they've been, I mean, I understand on the one hand, yeah, they've been making time and a half, but you know what, they have lives, they have wives, they have family, they have other things that, you know, take priority, and we have taken it upon ourselves to rotate personnel so that more individuals are able to work it to spread to spread the time.
Go ahead, Jim.
So what we would basically call this is a personnel emergency.
Yeah.
Which would be probably the best way. And we hire this additional person as a contractual person for a certain amount of time, or full-time.
No, we would just hire a full-time firefighter EMT to bring us up to full staffing level. And then at the end of 6 or 8 months, when that
Partial
person
staffing level.
returns,
Partial stuff.
he's available for
other stuff.
vacation and everything else. Yep.
And, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rick.
If I may be so bold, and I hate to put anybody on the spot, but I'm going to. We have a couple of full-time firefighters here, and I would like to listen, if they had something they wanted to say to try to convince me that that's what's needed. Not that I don't trust the chief.
Absolutely.
I would.
That's why they're here.
And I'm not gonna obviously put you on the spot to do it, but if you don't feel
But you are.
comfortable, don't bother. But if you would like to say a few words, that would be fine with me.
It's up to you guys, obviously.
One of the things, Lieutenant Rainey, one of the full-time career firefighters. One of the things that the chief, or has been mentioned so far, is staff getting tired, overworked. For the month of January, I'm working, our normal shift is 24 on, 48 off. Right now, I'm working 48 on, 24 off to cover the open shift and stuff like that. So yeah, we do get tired. It is a lot of extra work. And it is an unsafe condition.
What is your opinion to this, what we're talking about here tonight?
There's a lot of stuff that has to go. We need to speak about contract stuff and things like that. But I think that this is a good temporary fix for what's going on.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dad?
So, I'm Lieutenant Burgess, I'm a career fireman. I think this would be, like he said, a good temporary fix because we are getting tired. We all have lives, we all have families, you know, and it's really tough to go 48 hours from seeing your 1-year-old. You know, you miss a lot. And to not have that time, you lose it, you know. And it's not so much about being able to work the overtime and make the money, you know. Yeah, it's nice, but we need the staffing. You know, you show up at a fire and you got 2 guys, and if you don't have those 2 guys, you're done. You can't do anything. And somebody is going to get hurt by not being full staffed. And it's gonna be costly if somebody gets hurt, and then we're gonna be really out here. I think it's a great start.
Thank you, appreciate that. Any further discussion by the council? Is that
Well, one of the things is, we could walk out of here tonight, and one of them could be going back to the station and something happens. So now you only got one person covering.
I think there's an order, right? Somebody just said an order. There's an order there to be voted on.
Yeah, it is. Is everybody all set? I want everybody to have a chance to weigh in on this if they have anything else to say. If not, we'll have a roll call vote on the proposed order by the two council persons. I assume that's a roll call.
Yes, it will be. Jeff West.
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes.
Ken Fletcher.
Yes.
Jerry Quirian.
Yes.
Patricia West.
Yes.
Ben Twitchell.
Yes.
Steve Russell.
Yes.
Meeting on Friday?
Meeting on Friday?
So, did we want to waive the second reading?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to waive the second reading.
Second.
Moved and seconded to waive the second reading. Is there any further discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote on waiving the second reading.
Jeff West.
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes.
Ken Fletcher.
Yes.
Jerry Quirian.
Yes.
Patricia West.
Yes.
Ben Twitchell.
Yes.
Steve Russell.
Yes.
So, yes, we can meet Friday. So, you folks have a particular time?
Depends, you buying lunch?
Yeah, I was gonna say noon.
Firehouse Subs.
Yeah, we are.
Whatever time works for you folks to really have a job.
Noon.
12, noontime?
1. What time do you take your lunch? 12 to 1?
11 to noon.
12:30?
Say go to the bank.
Can we do 12:30?
Yep, 12:30.
12:30? Did you get that? 12:30 on Friday, the committee will meet. This coming Friday. Is that okay with you?
No,
that's
Not that one.
That's just the council.
Oh, this is the Stop the Burning Committee.
Oh, I apologize, okay.
Just the
To
council.
really make sure that we
Who's this
have a
close to a
chance to
sandwich?
talk with the knowledgeable folks.
Okay,
about
I apologize.
How this is gonna be integrated.
Okay, so this will be a council meeting then?
Right.
Yes.
Workshop?
Workshop.
Okay, I apologize. It's a council workshop on Friday. The other committee will meet at a different time. I want to do it all at once.
Too many
That
committees.
was 12:30, Trish?
Yeah. Please, thank you.
And
I can't make it.
should we buy?
Can't get out of work, Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry, did you book yourself?
We've got
Is it gonna be here?
Yep.
And that's, I think that would be a good way.
Anything left.
Right. Okay, is there any more discussion items anybody would like to bring up at this time?
Oh,
I got everything.
Are we all
in the
set?
audience. Oh, yeah, do you paper to me?
Go ahead, please.
Necessarily discussion items, I did have something to share in the interest of time, I think about 3 minutes, I missed the department piece there.
Okay, would you come up to the mic and TV cameras can hear you better?
State your name, please.
State your name.
Peter T. Superintendent of Winslow Public Schools, and I just wanted to take a few moments to go over a document, piece of information, actually it's a PowerPoint, that we shared with the board, and a few council members joined us a particular evening, and it had to do with the main educational assessment test. And really what we wanted to stress is that the test is one snapshot of all that we do in terms of measuring student growth and performance. So we put together some information for our board, and why this information is important is because it shows where our needs are, and it's kind of the foundation for the start of building our budgets. And so what you have here, and I'll hand this out to you, is a hard copy of the PowerPoint. It talks about our population, free and reduced, special education, homeless, number of boys, number of girls, some of the accomplishments of Winslow schools, some of the things that we're doing very well. What you're not going to see here is some of the recommendations, because the context was something that was spoken. But it's something that I would come back and I would answer questions. If after you've had a chance to look at this, I would gladly do that for you. The other thing that I want to bring to your attention is on the front cover of this is a gentleman by the name of Jamie Vollner, and he talks about blueberries, and he's not crazy. Vollner was a very prominent businessman who sold some of the best ice cream in America. And so, and by selling some of the best ice cream in America, he was challenged one day as he was speaking to a group of individuals. And the individuals happened to be teachers. And so somebody asked him, you know, Mr. Vollner, when you have the best ice cream in America, do you use the best products? He said, absolutely. So they said, well, you use the best blueberries. Absolutely, best blueberries in America. We don't take anything except the best blueberries. So the person said, well, what do you do if the blueberries aren't the best? He goes, we ship them back. We ship them back because if we don't have the best, we can't make the best product. And so the comparison was made that we can't ship our blueberries back. We take our children in any shape, size, form they come, and we work with them, and that's why we need support in order for them to succeed. So when you hear about the blueberry story, that's what it is. And there's a link here that you can go to watch that video, and I would ask you to do that. It's very interesting. The last thing that I want to share with you, and I'll leave this with you, is Vollner created what we're doing to our schools. And if you look at a timeline, we often say schools are being asked to do too much and they're unfunded mandates. So if you look at this timeline, you'll see what happens in 1900, 1910, and then you see the list continues to grow as we get older. In 1910, and a lot of these things that I hear are unfunded mandates. So when we have conversations with you about things that, well, here's why the price is going up on something, here's why this is happening, here's why. So it's just good to have this information. We will try to provide as much of this kind of information to you and the community as we move forward. The other thing that I'd like to mention, I heard something about budgets. Kyle and I spent about a couple of hours today going line by line over his budget. I spent 3 hours at the junior high the other day going over their lines. We are working through things. I would invite you to come to the school board meeting on the 28th, where we'll start going over the first blush of some cost centers. And so I think that would be a good opportunity for you just to start seeing how that process works, so you get it clear.
Is that at 6 or 7?
6 o'clock.
Is that 2 weeks from tonight?
It is. The only other thing that I would like to just mention quickly is that we had a really nice meeting the other day with some council members and some school board members to talk about how do we educate some of our legislatures on the importance of the funding. We started making some phone calls today to see who the area legislators are that can attend. We've had 2 responded in an affirmative. We're waiting for the others. Ken has put together some information that is really good information. Even if no one shows up, I think we should put that information in the letter with some of the other things and send it. Anything to help with this cause.
Probably if they hear I'm gonna be there.
And that's it, and that's on this 28th, Ken?
The 21st Century Program, or the, what, is that the program name?
22nd,
Is that
23rd.
budgeted for this coming year?
To meet
I know that the grant
It's not budgeted for this
Oh,
year with Collins.
because I supposed to have gone that thing, and I missed that last meeting.
I missed the last meeting as well.
Be a partial.
Okay.
You know, if you want, I'll send you.
Yeah,
Would you email
Can
me?
you send that to me as well?
I'll talk to you tomorrow, if I could call you, please. I'd like to see some things.
Thank you.
I will take one too if you have an extra. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I really want to fire
I'd
this
like
up.
to take a bathroom
I'm
break
hungry.
before we go into executive session, is that okay? Is there any other discussion items before we do that? Opportunity to do that then.
I like the blueberry comparison.